Several characters die in Phase 5's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, though perhaps not the characters that many would have been expecting. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 marked James Gunn's final project with Marvel Studios, and the last ride for the original MCU Guardians of the Galaxy team, banding together one more time to save Rocket's life by exploring his history. Billed as the Guardians' final adventure in the MCU timeline, many expected Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to feature several major deaths, which led to some surprise after the film's release on May 5, 2023. Prior to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3's release as part of the MCU's Phase 5, the film's trailers appeared to tease the deaths of several beloved characters, including Chris Pratt's Star-Lord, Bradley Cooper's Rocket, and Dave Bautista's Drax the Destroyer. Throughout the film, the primary members of the Guardians of the Galaxy come dangerously close to death several times, but always manage to avoid their tragic fates. Despite none of the Guardians actually dying during their fourth solo MCU outing, following the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, James Gunn still delivered a bittersweet farewell to the original team. None of the main Guardians of the Galaxy die in Volume 3. The original Guardians team all survive the events of the movie. The Guardians of the Galaxy in Volume 3. After audiences are reintroduced to the Guardians of the Galaxy in the opening moments of Volume 3, Will Poulter makes his debut as Adam Warlock, fulfilling the Sovereign's threat of revenge against the team after their betrayal in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Warlock attacks the Guardians, wounding Nebula, Groot, Drax, Mantis, and Rocket, with the latter finding himself on the brink of death. As he was created by the High Evolutionary, a kill switch was embedded inside Rocket's body that renders the Guardians' medpacks unusable, forcing them to embark on their mission to save Rocket's life. There are several moments where it seems as though Rocket would lose his life in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, including one which finds him in an afterlife, interacting with Lilla, his childhood friend. Even so, Rocket's life is eventually saved by Peter Quill and Gamora. Drax comes close to death during a battle with Orgacorp sentries, the Guardians are almost eliminated during the destruction of Counter-Earth, and Star-Lord nearly freezes to death in space during the rescue of the High Evolutionary's experiments, though he's saved by Adam Warlock. This means that no Guardians of the Galaxy die during Volume 3, though tensions were high throughout the film. Lilla is shot by High Evolutionary. Lilla's death is the emotional core of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Lilla was killed by the High Evolutionary. Despite none of the Guardians of the Galaxy meeting their demises, Volume 3 was still very emotional, as the few deaths that were featured in the movie were heartbreaking. Flashbacks explore Rocket's MCU backstory, including the experiments he was subjected to by Chakotay Iweji's High Evolutionary, and his early friendships, in particular his close bond with Lilla the Otter. While escaping captivity, however, Lilla is shot and killed by the High Evolutionary, inciting Rocket's anger towards his creator and leading to the future Guardians' escape. Rocket sees Lilla again in the afterlife, but soon returns to his body with the knowledge that his friends will be waiting for him. Floor and Teefs are killed by the High Evolutionary's guards. Floor and Teefs make Rocket's backstory even more heartbreaking. Rocket, Lilla, Teefs, and Floor in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Along with Rocket and Lilla, other experiments of the High Evolutionaries are also kept in cages, including the rabbit Floor and the walrus Teefs. The four creatures form a close bond, but Teefs and Floor also tragically lose their lives during Rocket's escape attempt. After Lilla's death, Rocket attacks the High Evolutionary, though he is soon interrupted by guards. While Rocket soon takes down the High Evolutionary's henchmen, this isn't before the guards shoot both Teefs and Floor. The pair is glimpsed again in the afterlife, but it wasn't yet Rocket's time to join them. Aisha and Humanimals die in the destruction of Counter-Earth. Aisha and the Humanimals' deaths are a crucial part of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3's plot. Elizabeth Debicki as Aisha in Guardians 3. After first appearing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Elizabeth Debicki's High Priestess Aisha and her sovereign people were revealed to have been created by the High Evolutionary in Volume 3. Aisha journeyed to Counter-Earth with her son Adam Warlock, in an effort to acquire Rocket for the High Evolutionary. However, Warlock soon found himself joining the Guardians of the Galaxy after his mother and the Ani-Men population of Counter-Earth were killed during Counter-Earth's destruction. This acted as a strong origin story for the heroic version of Adam Warlock, but marked tragedy as the High Evolutionary committed genocide of the entire species that he had created for Counter-Earth. High Evolutionary survives the destruction of his ship. The High Evolutionary may return in the MCU. The High Evolutionary was an exciting addition to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and proved an effective and harrowing villain throughout the movie's run. Although it seemed as though the villain died amid the destruction of ship, this has been revealed to not quite be the case. After being beaten by the Guardians, it was believed that he had died, but James Gunn confirmed that the High Evolutionary survived Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and is actually imprisoned on Nowhere. During the final moments of the film, Drax can be seen carrying the High Evolutionary's body onto Nowhere, creating the opportunity for the complex and sinister villain to return in the MCU's future.